On today's show, a new competitor has entered the market for modular smartphones.
A new award show for video games. We've got all the details.
Yes, and a robot helper is officially put into service at a hardware store right here in the U.S.
That's scary.
Yeah. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Scudda. Joining me once again, Kale Anonymous.
Yeah, we got a video game award show, so can we just get to...
We can get in a second. We're going to get to that. Okay. So before we do that, though, we have to have the graphics. So let's hit the headlines. We're cutting right to the chase today, guys. Cutting right to the chase. Okay, so very first story today. This is really interesting. So Project Ara is a Google-owned project that is working on modular smartphones. So you know how PC gamers, you build your rig, you switch things out, you upgrade your video cards, all that good stuff, upgrade your RAM over time. This is kind of the same concept for phones. So they want to do these like modular things. Well, this company is really interesting. This is called Puzzle Phone. This is a new challenger approaching.
Okay, yeah.
It's very interesting. So they say that they have created this kind of sustainable smartphone that will last longer because of upgradable parts. So in the similar vein of Project Ara. But the way they do it is a little bit different. So Project Ara, if you've ever seen pictures of this, it looks like a Lego board. Like it's literally just like pieces of a smartphone all along the back. And it looks like a little puzzle. This one, Puzzle Phone is what this is called, is 3 parts. Okay, so they split it up, a phone, into 3 different sections. The spine, which is the LCD screen, the main buttons, the speaker, and the microphone. The heart, which is the battery and some secondary electronics. And then the last thing is the brain, which is the processor and things like the camera.
Okay. Nice.
So this is really cool. So it's a modular standard, and what they're saying is that basically those are the 3 basic smartphone parts that you would want to upgrade. And you'd probably, for example, want to upgrade things like the processor and the camera at the same time.
Yeah.
So one of the things about Project Ara that a lot of us have kind of had questions about is how viable is it really for a consumer market? Because it's really overwhelming, I would imagine, to have to pick out all those parts just like you would do building your own computer. For a lot of people, that's very overwhelming. They don't even know where to start. And so this company is saying, well, listen, we can do this and it can be modular, but we can make it really simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
And if we have 3 parts, then maybe regular consumers will be more apt to try it.
Do they talk about the upgrades? Like you know, what you, like, I know what you would upgrade, but like, do they have any improvements that they would be like, oh, this is the brain that's in there now, this is the next step?
Here's
the next step for
I would
the brain.
imagine over the course of the next probably a year or two, if they're on the same kind of timeline that Project R is on, we're going to start seeing these sort of use cases where they say, well, here's this camera and here's a picture of whatever, and then like we're going to switch it out for this camera, and then here's this. So I have a feeling we're going to start seeing all of that, but not in this particular video that we pulled for today's show.
Have any providers adopted this yet, or is it just kind of like a theory?
This is very conceptual so far, kind of prototype, but they did say that for an OS, it'll be an Android fork at first. But then the cool thing about this is that they said they want to make it compatible with other operating systems in the future so that they can encourage a huge development community.
Yeah.
So they want to be able, basically, for you to say, I want Android on this phone. Oh, next week, maybe I'll switch out the camera and make it a Windows phone.
Cool.
Or maybe I'll do that. Like, this is really cool stuff. So I think that's really fascinating. I love, and I've always said that the future of phones is going to end up being just like computers. We had this sort of, for a while there, we had this kind of processor race where it was like, how many cores can we get into a phone? And now we're at a point where, just like PCs, we kind of plateaued out a little bit. Like, we're still getting better, but we've kind of plateaued to a point now where people are like, okay, well, what about modifying them? Like, can I swap out parts? Like, that's the new thing.
Yeah, because you can't do anything with an iPhone.
Well, you're still not going to be able to do anything with an iPhone.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, in comparison.
Yeah.
Speaking of blocky, it looked kind of big. It looked kind of chunky.
I have a feeling prototype device, I mean, it's always going to be a little bit bigger. And more, like, you're always going to kind of see these prototypes be a little bigger than what their retail would be. But I'm really curious. I mean, keep an eye on Puzzle Phone.
But I'm very interested.
Yeah, just keep an eye on Puzzle Phone because it does seem very fascinating. Okay, the Game Awards.
Tomorrow,
tell me all about it.
Tomorrow, the Game Awards are going on in Las Vegas, and you can watch it streaming on any device. That's right. It's not on TV. You can watch it on Twitch, and you can watch it on your Xbox and your PlayStation.
Do you want the whole list
But what?
of where you can watch it?
Go for it.
I have it. Okay.
Yeah.
You can watch it on PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Wii U, Steam, Twitch, IGN, GameSpot, Nico Nico, MLG, Kotaku, and of course YouTube.
So basically, on the lack of success of a lot of other award shows, a lot of us are excited about this one because it's kind of fueled from exactly where it should be, which is like, people that are into the industry. So
Right.
Jeff Keighley himself was partially responsible for bringing this into fruition.
He's the ringmaster of this whole thing.
Yep. There's a lot of new categories, ones that, a big name company wouldn't have even think to put in there. And and there's a lot of really good judges. So can I share with you some of
Please.
the categories, because this is the part I
Please.
think is the most interesting.
Yeah.
Well, part of the most interesting. There's a category for best remastered game.
That's
which I think
a
is
good
interesting,
idea.
because there's a lot of that going on.
There is, and that's a really good idea.
and
I
there's
like
a lot
that.
of work in that. There's also
Grim Fandango's going to sweep that next year.
Oh, here we go again.
All right, go ahead.
So esports player of the year. So anybody
Love
that's
that.
big in esports,
Yeah.
which is a huge thing. One of my friends is nominated, so that's good.
Wow, aren't you fancy?
Trending gamer. So anybody that's like doing, the Let's Plays.
Twitch
or,
Let's Plays,
or like
yeah,
is an
okay.
influencer in the gaming industry.
Nice.
That's kind of a popularity contest, I feel. But we'll see how that
But they're
turns out.
fan categories, so they are popularity
And then,
contests.
but then there's best fan creation. This is celebrating anybody who's inspired by gaming and is making
make
something,
something out of
and
it.
there's a lot of variants in this, such as Twitch plays Pokemon. If you remember, it's like
Yeah,
people
that
were
was
putting
amazing.
the directions.
We did that on the show.
Best Zelda rap ever by Ego Raptor. And then there's like a Minecraft song. So there's a lot of really cool. A lot of cool categories.
I have to say, the one thing I always look forward to for shows like this is the unveils, the reveals, the trailers. Like they were saying, they're going to have, was it 14 or 16
There's like
new
16 new trailers.
never before seen world exclusives.
There's no Fallout 4.
And if you couldn't
which
hear
is
Kale through his gritted
okay.
teeth, yes, there's no
That's
Fallout 4.
fine. But and also Xbox says they're not going to be revealing any Xbox exclusive reveals. So that still leaves multi-platform, PlayStation and Nintendo.
PC.
All of which, and PC, all of which are totally supporting this.
Yeah,
so
I've heard
it's
that.
It's not just a no-name show.
No, this is a lot. Most of the AAA developers in the industry are behind this.
Why not watch it? It's the first one. It's
Yeah.
honestly the one that seems like the most legit and like most fun. They're not like, and hosting is Kim Kardashian. It's
Yeah.
nothing like that. I'm excited to watch it. So
You know what? I will watch it.
watch
it.
Game of the Year. Can we?
I know Bayonetta 2 is nominated.
Okay, so here are the Game of the Year nominees.
Okay,
And
GOTY.
let's see if you guessed any of them if you didn't already know them.
Aside from Bayonetta 2, which I just said.
Bayonetta 2. All right.
Amazing.
Dark Souls 2.
Good game.
A lot of people are like, darn it. Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone, woo,
Amazing.
and Middle Earth: Shadows of Mordor.
Also
Woo!
amazing.
Yeah, so a great list.
I feel like Dragon Age is
Check
going to
this
take
out.
it.
Check this
You're
out.
shaking me. What's happening?
They are all like medieval period things. I mean, look at Middle Earth.
They're fantasy, yeah,
swords and
fantasy-based,
stuff.
that's
Yeah,
true. All
Hearthstone.
fantasy.
Yeah, Dragon
Bayonetta's
Age.
a little weird.
And Dark Souls, except for Bayonetta.
Bayonetta's
There's
the
no
weird
like
one.
future tech stuff. There's no like alien stuff, which is like
sci-fi.
hey,
That's
like,
rare.
There's
war games. No Battlefield.
No war
There's
games.
none of that.
Crazy. Going to be
Wow.
an interesting year to see which sword wielder
I think it's going to
game
be
comes
Dragon
out on
Age.
top.
Dragon Age. I think it's going to be Dragon Age.
You think Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your vote. I'm going to say Middle Earth: Dragons of Mordor.
All right,
I mean,
we'll
Shadows
Dragons of Mordor.
Shadows of my, you
Dragons
see
of
where my
Mordor.
head's at.
I
So
love
there
it.
you go. All right, what do
All
you
right.
got next? Sorry, that geek out is
So
done.
we geeked out a little bit. Okay.
All
So OSHbot is a robot that actually was announced a couple of months ago,
Mm-hmm.
but now it is actually officially in service. So I was very excited to hear about this. I wanted to
Right.
see exactly how it was going to work in the real world before talking about it on the show.
Instead of those promises.
So this is by Lowe's Innovation Labs. You're watching the video here. Here's the robot. Here he is. That's OSHbot.
Take your time.
Osh is for Orchard Supply Hardware, which is the chain that Lowe's actually owns. So it's a smaller chain that's a hardware store. So Orchard Supply, you're able to walk in, you can talk to this robot, you can bring in, the cool thing that they tout about this robot is that you could bring in like a part and say, hey, I need this. What is this? And then the robot could tell you, oh, hey, it's over here, follow me. And then they take you to the parts section where you could get that bit, which is kind of awesome. But the other cool thing about this is that it speaks multiple languages. So in the video, they actually have somebody speaking to it in Spanish. It understands. It's really cool. And you can also ask it for things like, I'm looking for a hammer. And she's like, I'm looking for a hammer. Help me find a hammer, whatever. But here's the thing, is that this finally went into service. So this is the shiny promotional video that Lowe's Labs put together.
Oh, so we got some real stories.
Okay, so now we got some real world use case. Our friends over at Ars Technica, if you're familiar with Ars Technica, I got to go check it out, and there's actually one in service now in Silicon Valley. So there's a bunch of reporters there, and it didn't quite go as planned. The robot, they asked for screwdrivers, and it separated the word screwdriver, and then it couldn't understand what you were asking for because screwdriver, one word, is different than screwdriver two.
Oh no!
So it didn't really get that, and then once they fixed that as like an error, they were able to find screwdrivers. That's fine.
So what was the ratio? Like just by assumption, do you think
by assumption, it seemed like it wasn't great.
So it's like a 75% fail rate.
You know how annoying self-checkout lines are?
I was gonna bring that up too.
It's like that. It feels like it's maybe like that, where you're gonna be screaming at this robot and just getting really frustrated. But they also said there were a lot of reporters there, and then at one point it just got really confused, and it was like, I'm sorry, I just can't help. Like, it just had no idea what was happening. So
well, you see, that's the thing is that all these things sound great, but like the robot technology is not right. So
when put in use, it's tough.
You've been to a hardware store, maybe you have or haven't, and you see the person that's helping people out, and there's usually like a couple of people waiting for them to finish. Yeah,
that's always me. I'm always like hovering, just going like, well, whenever they're done, like I'll ask.
And this robot is gonna be wandering around with people, helping old ladies.
It's gonna be just a trailing line of people just waiting to try the robot.
Yeah.
The OSHbot. OSHbot bagosh. Is that gonna be a thing?
So I mean. That's cool.
No, it's awesome. I'm sure it'll get better. And the thing is it is in use, which is, it's always nice to actually see something go from, hey, this is a prototype, to actually being used in the real world, even though it's a little buggy.
True.
Still pretty cool.
Yep.
So
and it's phase one. Like, let's give the robot a break.
You buy first gen, you know what you're getting, right? It's like a first gen.
It gets like the mechanical spider arm.
Wait until it has hammers for arms.
Oh yeah.
Then,
yeah. See, it should have some that are just like it can dispense it. Like whatever the most common items are, it can just dispense those items.
That's one thing that they're actually pretty excited about, which is data collection, of course. But they're like, we want to know what people are most commonly asking for in the store, so we can make it easy to find.
Oh, okay.
Like, make it easy to find, and probably also raise the prices. But on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We're going to talk about what we're into this week before we let you go for the weekend, like as if you're in school. And then we will, of course, talk about our phone talker for the day, and then we have something a little different for user feedback. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back. We've returned, and it's that time of the week once again where Kayla and I discuss all the things that we are obsessed with. This is called Into It. I'm gonna let you go first.
No.
Why? You have to go first.
Oh, I do?
Well, we're both kind of into this. It's a PlayStation.
Do you like PlayStation?
Do you have PlayStation friends?
Okay, so PlayStation is having the PlayStation experience on December 6th through 7th. This is kind of like a first thing that they've ever done.
This is the first time they've done something like this
it's their 20th anniversary, and so they're doing it with, you got to watch this promo video.
It makes me a little choked up.
They're doing this PlayStation experience that's allowing what it seems like the biggest fans of PlayStation to come and just have, enjoy everything about PlayStation, come play some new games, and even have some of the devs come out and do panels and you can ask them questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a PlayStation PlayCon.
Yeah, it's a PlayStation convention. I really, from what it seems like from watching the video, and I may just be easily influenced, but it seems just kind of like a celebration. It doesn't look really like they're too many of their products are being. I mean, I'm sure maybe after the video.
There's a lot of unreleased stuff that they're going to have on the floor. Like, I know Grim Fandango Remastered is going to be there. I know, I'm sorry to bring it up twice, but I know that will be there because I saw Tim Schafer tweeting about it. Like, that's going to be one of the things that's playable.
Oh.
So they're going to have stuff that's unreleased.
Yeah.
So it's almost like E3, but for the public. You're going to be able to go.
And make no mistake, they didn't pick this date for no reason.
Yeah,
the Game Awards, remember I just mentioned that, is the day before this thing starts.
The night before. So a lot of you in Las Vegas for the PlayStation experience who are also going to the Game Awards are going to be really hungover the first day.
From video games.
Really hungover. From video games and happiness and camaraderie. All those great things.
Expect some announcements. I mean, obviously we might see some trailers for new games at the Game Awards, and then
more
playable
Yeah, we might see a
at
playable PlayStation
the PlayStation
experience.
thing. But this is really cool. If you're watching this and you go to either, please tell us about it.
You might see Kale, one or both.
You might. If I can find a ride to Vegas,
He's just gonna hitchhike.
and then we'll go. But there you go, another great weekend for video games.
So the thing.
2015. Nope.
2014. We're almost there.
Not
We're almost
yet.
there.
All right.
So my thing that I'm into is actually attached to the PlayStation experience, but it's an item specific to the PlayStation experience, and also you're going to be able to buy it if you're online. This is the 20th anniversary edition PS4, which looks ridiculously awesome, and I want it. Just shut up and take my money.
Something tells me you're not going to get it. So you have to be at the event to get this?
No, no. So let's just take a look at this. It's actually gray. It's a gray PS4, just like the olden days of the original PlayStation, the first PlayStation. This unboxing is like ridiculous. It's my favorite. This box that it comes in, you get a PlayStation camera. You get the camera for the PS4, you get the eye. You also get a controller that's gray. It's really, really pretty, you guys. I want it. It's really pretty. It just reminds me of playing Final Fantasy VII.
This is so just for us, like, mega ultra gamers. Everybody else is like, it's just gray, dude.
It's just gray, guys. Just
gray,
spray
man.
paint it.
Lay off.
Spray paint, just lay off. It is going to be limited to 12,300 units.
Translation, you're not going to get it.
You may not get one.
But where's it going to be again?
Okay, so you're going to be able to buy it. You will actually be able to buy it first at the PlayStation experience.
And do we know how many they're selling there?
I don't know, but it might just be that you're able to pre-order it there, like first. And then actual online pre-orders are going to open on the Sony PlayStation Store on the 6th.
Did they say it's going to be any more expensive?
So on Saturday. So, it'll be the same day. So it'll be the same day as the opening of the PlayStation experience. You might be able to actually take one from the PlayStation experience. Maybe they'll have them there. I'm not sure, though. I can't corroborate that. That's speculation, pure speculation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's gonna be $500. It's $499, which limited edition, not
limited
bad.
edition is gonna be worth more than that.
So it's a little more. And yeah, you get all the stuff, and you'll be able to pre-order it from store.sony.com on December 6th.
Really wish PlayStation or Sony was sending us to this event.
That would be cool. That would be cool, guys. We'd like that. Next year?
Next year?
Oh,
no?
we go to E3. If we go to E3.
Yeah, but I
That's
mean,
like one
you
out
get
of-
locked out of stuff a lot at E3.
Fair enough.
It's like even when you're pressed, they're like,
Well,
you gotta be the president of a company.
So I'm hoping with PlayStation experience, this actually helps minimize the people trying to like sneak into E3. Like maybe that'll help. Like, and I wish like the other two gaming companies would do these things too.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Direct, I really like that they're able to do these like demo
It's super cool,
stations at like
yeah.
Best Buy and stuff, where you're able to go play Smash Brothers before it came out and all that. I like that, and I think we should do more of that. I think the gaming industry should do more of that. I think it'd be awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Why not give gamers more places to like
Check out things
celebrate?
that are coming up. Like it gets people excited. It gets people really excited about everything.
Do you remember that Nintendo thing at the end of the Wiz?
Yes.
Or just the Wizard. Sorry,
First
the
of
Wizard.
all,
The Wizard.
The Wizard was a movie that I watched as a kid, and I was like, I want to go to the video game championship so bad and play Super Mario Brothers 3 in the championship.
And he found the flute for some reason. Sorry.
And Lucas had the
didn't
Power
find the
Glove
flute.
on the way. Like
was
he was
so
oh
bad.
boy, man, what a great Fred Savage film. That's his finest, really, I think.
Definitely.
If you haven't seen The Wizard, track it down. I think
Reboot that.
you can probably see it. Oh, we need to reboot The Wizard.
Not with the Wii U.
Let's call Jeff Keighley and reboot The Wizard with the Wii U.
With the adult versions of everybody.
That's what we should do. It'd be amazing.
That would be pretty good.
That'd be a
He's got the
terrible
N
movie.
gauge on his arm. Like, what is
No,
it?
it'd be Oculus Rift.
Oh,
I got Oculus Rift now. Like,
all
oh
right.
man, it'd be so good. Okay.
You heard it here first.
All right, so this is where we would normally do user feedback, so let's run the graphic. I know we said we were going to read your Suicide Squad tweets today, but maybe we lied. Maybe it wasn't really a lie. It's more like an untruth. I don't know. Last minute change. What do you want to call this?
A lie.
Okay, that's a lie.
We are going to read them, though.
We are going to read them on Monday, but we decided today because we are very, very close to our 100th episode, which will be next week. I believe next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
100th episode.
We've done 100 of these, and somehow you're still here. I just don't know about you guys.
Check yourself.
You're all wonderful.
Yeah.
for sticking around. But 100 episodes is a big deal for us, and we think that's pretty cool. So we want you guys to send in your favorite thing about the show that you've ever seen. Your favorite story, your favorite kill moment, whatever. I don't care what it is. Just your favorite T-shirt, favorite photographer that kills it. You know what?
I like my Syndicate T-shirt.
You've got some good ones.
Yeah.
Got some really good ones. But yeah, so send in whatever your favorite is. The hashtag is TD100, the number, so TD100. It's really easy. Send it in. Send us your favorite Tomorrow Daily moments.
Yeah.
There's only 100 episodes worth of moments.
Just dip into that little tiny speck of your brain that's actually a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And leave all the rest behind.
It's like a little
and
pie
just
slice.
share with us like what you enjoy about the show, just so like we could just have one solid episode of just
We're gonna celebrate. Yeah, we're just gonna celebrate.
Yeah, everything.
And
So,
we're
stoked.
celebrating you guys too.
Great.
So maybe we might
gotta come up with something cool for the 100th episode.
we may pick our favorite tweets of yours over the last few months.
Definitely will. But we gotta come up with something real cool for the 100th episode.
We gotta come up with something really good. All right, we're gonna
We
work
gotta
on
start
that.
thinking about that.
So and then but we do have for user feedback today a photographer. So let's check that out. You know, photographer Devin emailed us and he said, "Hi, my name is Devin. I took this picture off my iPhone 4S in panorama mode. That day, I went on a fishing trip with my mom and dad on Boone Lake, and since it was early when we got there, it was still a little foggy. I love your show. You guys are funny, and I watch you every day. I hope you pick this picture. Thanks if you do." iPhone 4S, pretty good.
Oh, is this was done by J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah, this is all J.J. Abrams. This is
the
actually
lens
a production still from the next Star Trek.
It looks like a fisheye lens, but
Yeah.
he said it was panorama.
Well, it's pano, but see, it's not, because he didn't go like all the way around.
Yeah.
It kind of almost gives that effect. And also the lens flare right in the middle probably does it.
That's fantastic. Well done.
Good. I like
Nicely
that.
done, Devin.
I want
And
to go.
with
It
a
looks so
4S.
peaceful. I want to go fishing there. It looks like a good place to fish. Devin, write us back and tell us if you caught any fish.
Yeah.
Or-
And
and
lie.
what kind?
Be a fisherman and lie about it.
Yeah, just totally this big, giant, huge catfish, the best. If you guys want to submit your photography and be Kale's new favorite, because
Yeah,
obviously
that guy's definitely my new favorite. Yeah.
that's what I figured.
My favorite.
You can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. You can also send us your TD100 moments if you can't contain them to 140 characters. But if you love social media and you'd rather use that instead, you can find us at Tomorrow Daily on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+.
And if you caught a fish this big and you're on YouTube,
You should subscribe.
you should subscribe.
If you caught a
And-
fish this big, you should
Yeah.
also subscribe.
But anywhere in between, don't even bother. And then also, if you're listening on iTunes, hello. But don't forget to subscribe to the podcast
Yeah.
and give us a good rating.
Rate and review us. We like that.
Rate and review. And
helps.
so there you go. And have a good weekend.
Yeah, and you can find us over on Twitter at Ashley Esqueda and
And at Kill Anonymous.
super easy. But we're gonna let you go for the weekend. Listen, road trip it out to Vegas because there's a lot of cool gaming stuff happening out there this weekend. So if you're anywhere nearby, I highly recommend it. And we'll be back on Monday with a brand new docket of weird, wonderful, awesome, cool tech, geek, pop culture, gaming stuff for you to tell all your friends about because you are the best. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.